Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. We're going to be taking a look at the next Stormblood dungeon, Bardam's Mettle. For the trash pools in here, all of the Haugi shoots have an interruptible arrow ability. Since this is a spell, it goes through most of your defenses compared to normal physical attacks, so you will be taking increased damage at this time. The Greater Gulu Gulu has a large cone AoE that you will want to move out of. The Wall of Bardam also have large frontal cone abilities that you'll want to avoid standing in, along with occasionally throwing out a circular AoE at this time. For the first boss, you will have a large frontal cone AoE that you'll want to move out of. There will also be several non-interactable enemies around the platform. Crumbling Crust will be a circular AoE in the area that it has a very quick cast time that you'll just need to move out of. Whenever he casts Rush on a party member, then you will want to move as far away from him as you can. When the boss does his Scream ability, all of the adds in the area will become active, and depending on which type they are, will have different AoEs that you'll need to avoid. If you begin moving as soon as he casts Crumbling Crust, you'll probably have a higher chance of moving out of the corresponding area before the AoE goes off. Once the boss is dead, you'll jump off the platform in the back of his arena to move on. The Meddling Daras will be casting the Stone 2 ability that can be interrupted. They also have a Frontal Cone Double Smash ability that you'll just want to face them away from the party to avoid and move it out of when they cast it. For the next group, the Zunguval will have a frontal cone AoE that you'll want to move out of to avoid, along with the Steep Eagle having another frontal cone AoE. The Steep Eagle will also apply Wind Burn to you, which is a damage over time wind effect that would just need to be healed through. For the second boss, you will not actually have to fight any ads. This is a trial sort of fight here. So there will be different things that the ads will do that you'll need to avoid the AoEs for. For the first one, he'll cast Empty Gaze, which will do 2 circular AoEs along with an AoE for looking at the boss. So you'll need to face away from the boss while also moving between these 2 AoEs. After this, there will be several line AoEs that you'll need to avoid while again looking away from the Hunter of Bardam to avoid the Gaze AoE. After you pass these, then you will move on to the second trial. For the second trial, one party member will need to stand in on each of the pillars to make sure that you're absorbing the damage from these. And then for the AoEs, you will need to spread out to the outside of the arena to avoid being hit by the cones. After this, he'll summon AoEs on every party member that will continuously fall on them that you'll need to move around the platform to avoid being hit multiple times. Followed by Heavy Strike, which will be a 270-degree AoE around the enemy in the middle that will continuously expand. Followed by several large circular AoEs that you'll need to avoid. As long as one party member is not hit by these AoEs, then you will pass the trial still. For the third trial, you will need to move out of the AoEs and avoid being hit by the additional ads, while also avoiding a few line AoEs after the pull-in. You will need to make sure that before the meteor impact finishes casting that you are behind one of the star shards that is hopefully still alive to avoid the AoE damage from that and passing the third and final trial. After this, you will jump off the platform in the back of the arena. For the ads leading to the final area, the Coon Shaver will have a Tornado ability, which is a large circular area you'll just want to move out of. Once the ads are dead, a large ball will roll out of the door, so you'll want to move to the sides to avoid being rolled over by this multiple times. A few more of these will continue down the path while you are proceeding on, so you'll want to continue moving to the side to avoid these. The Meddling Mata will have a large cone AoE that you'll want to avoid standing in. For the final boss, he does have an untelevised frontal cone AoE, so you will want to face him away from the rest of your party. When he casts When Unbound, this will be a party-wide AoE that will just need to be healed through. It will also summon feathers around the arena that will launch line AoEs across the platform. Whenever he casts Flutterfall, this will mark several party members with AoEs that you'll just need to spread out to avoid overlapping to reduce the amount of damage you are taking. Eye of the Fierce is another visual AoE that you'll want to go away from the boss to avoid being affected by it. If you are hit by it, then you will become confused and start attacking your party members. This is especially dangerous for the healer, as during this time you will not be able to heal your tank. Whenever he disappears and summons the additional add into the fight, then you will want to switch all DPS to the add and kill it as soon as possible. During this time, he will spawn on the boss will spawn on a random side of the platform and begin casting a large line AoE that he will eventually charge across the platform and do. This is untelevised, so you just need to move out from in front of him. During this time, there will be several feather AoEs that will be launching line AoEs across the platform the entire time. When the boss disappears for the second time, he will reappear in the middle of the platform, and his right wing and left wing will become targetable. During this time, there will be circular AoEs that are moving around the entire outside of the platform. You'll just want to focus on one of the wings and then the other one afterwards. He will continue to do his frontal cone AoEs along with the line AoEs and circular AoEs during this time, so you'll be moving around the smaller portion of the arena that you have available to you to avoid overlapping these. But this should be it for the Bardam's Mettle. I hope this helps everyone out. If it does, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.